Welcome to the Home Centered Life podcast, where we seek to slow down, opt out of anxiety, and live an unhurried life. We're so glad you're here.
Journey alongside us as we learn about homesteading, homemaking, and living a more simple, home-centered life. Because we think the richest life possible is centered around the home.
Welcome back to the Home Centered Life podcast. So today I'm kind of excited because we're going to do something really practical and something that I think will be encouraging and give you a little peek under the hood of our life. But also I think these things are going to be super helpful to anyone listening. So we are going to talk about 10 things that we don't do as a family. Oftentimes we share a lot of what we do, but these are 10 things that we choose not to do, and we choose not to do them very intentionally. They're all things that we've chosen. We haven't just fallen into them. I think that this is something that, we've decided and made an intentional effort to steer away from. And this isn't to say, we're any better than anyone that's doing these things, but it's more just an invitation, I think, to think critically about your own schedule and your own life as a family. And maybe one or two of these things will jump out to you, and maybe you'll consider whether or not you want to continue doing them or not for your own family. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. So we don't do them perfectly, or we don't do them perfectly. But I think I've heard people say like, oh, I want to be defined by what I'm for, not what I'm against. I disagree. I think what you're for and what you're against are both important.
Yeah.
And just because we don't do these things doesn't mean this is inherently negative.
Yeah.
And I think that's
good.
Actually important to call out, because most of us raised to think that saying yes is positive, saying no is negative.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make a request, if they say yes, that's good. And if they say no, that's bad. But that's overly simple.
Yeah.
And what we say no to is just as important as what we say yes to. You can't say your best yes to anything if you say yes to everything.
Yeah.
So it sets the stage, being able to say no, being able to say, here's 10 things we don't do very often or really at all, sets the stage for us to say yes to the things that we really want to go big on. So even though it's 10 things we don't do, I don't think it's helpful to think of it as like a negative bent.
No, not at all. It's more about creating space for the important things, right?
Yeah.
And that's more the heart behind it. So it's more, again, an invitation to take a magnifying glass to the things you are doing, and maybe a few of the things that, maybe it's one or two of these things, or maybe it opens up something in your heart to say, ooh, yeah, I need to stop doing that thing, or I need to do this way less.
Yeah.
So
10 pieces of worn out clothing we've taken out of our closet, and we just like the space that it leaves, the spaciousness that is left behind.
Yeah. So we're just going to go through them, not in any particular order here, but let's go.
Go for it.
Okay.
Hit it. Number one,
me. Okay. So we said use phones in bed / have notifications turned on. So yeah, we end up, I could talk about phone stuff for forever, but I begrudgingly got a smartphone because I think my dumb phone just basically died, and you were like, you need to upgrade. And so I basically use my smartphone as a dumb phone for the most part. I think I use it to, I'm a little obsessive when it comes to checking the weather. So I use it for that.
That's correct.
Yeah. And so I do that. So that's awesome. And for Google Maps. But other than that, as far as like notifications and apps, basically have none. I hide all the apps in like one little folder on the third page of my phone or whatever. So there's really nothing to distract me, and it's just a text from important people, and every now and then someone calls me, but that's like once every week nowadays. Yeah. And then using them in bed, that's just never been a thing for us.
Smartphones are something we could talk about forever.
Yeah, we'll do a whole episode on that.
Drawing boundaries, I think, is incredibly important. Not having them in bed is and I would parse that out like specifically because so much research shows the detrimental effect of having exposure to blue lights within
that's its
an
own
hour.
whole thing.
Yeah. So deciding, even if you have a smartphone, which I do, even if you go bonanza with it all day, which I do more than you do because of my work, but still not in bed.
Yeah.
And still with the notifications turned off at least at strategic times. It's not like if my mom calls, it still goes through.
Yeah.
But in general, that like we're going to bed, so the phones go to bed first.
We actually, just a helpful tip, we have like a basket where we keep like our keys and bills that I need to pay, and then our phones go in there. And so, I mean, once you're done with work for the day, I sort of feel like our phones almost don't exist, and especially like with the kids. So that kind of goes into number 2.
Yep.
We say we don't ever have phones at the dinner table. So meal times are sacred, and they should be, I think, for everyone. But, even though our kids are little, we're connecting face to face. We're our daughter, she's now learned, she's not even 2 years old yet, but now one of our questions we ask each other every day was, what was your favorite part of the day? And she said, what's your favorite part? So, creating space again for the conversations, for checking in.
Yeah.
How is your work day?
Yeah.
Even hearing from our daughter, like, what was her favorite part? What are you thankful for? So it creates that space. And I think a phone would just be, I mean, it literally, like, again, research shows, like, if it's visually near you or even in the same room, like, you're going to be drawn to it. It's like, put it in another room. Yeah. Like, don't even like put it in your lap. Don't do that. Like, put it in another room and and it gives you the opportunity to be fully present with the people in front of you.
Study came out of UT Austin a couple of years ago. Just the sight of your phone. Yeah. Face down, turned off. Just the sight of it decreases your cognitive capacity by 10%.
There you go. I knew it was something.
Going to bed and having a phone, blue light exposure, terrible for your sleep. Going to dinner and having your phone,
terrible for your relationships.
Yeah. And I think those are probably the two. We do maybe more things, and we are even talking about doing even more things. But I feel like those are two really low-hanging fruits that would make a huge difference.
Yeah.
If people just drew a line and said an hour before bed, no more phone, no more screens really, and at dinner time. Yeah. Especially when you're out. We talk about this. I hear a lot of older people who are our age and older, but especially older folks, complain about how much time kids spend on their phone these days.
Like young people.
How much time the youngsters are spending on their phone. I know a lot of older folks who are spending a ton of time on their phone, and to go out to dinner with somebody and just have them be on their phone, or to go out to dinner and look around and see that people aren't actually interacting with each other. They're just on their phones.
That hurts my heart when I see that. Heart,
yeah. Not in a judgmental way, but more just like you're out there having dinner together. Yeah. Ostensibly connecting. So not taking your phone to bed and not having it at the dinner table are two pretty small things. Do whatever you want the rest of the time. Yeah. But those are two things that we opt out of. Yeah. Number 3, allow too many nights out.
So we are homebodies. There's a reason we call this the Home Centered Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Homebody Life Podcast.
So if you're an extrovert, you might just want to skip over this one, but it actually would apply, right? So there's beauty in rhythm, and routine, and we love being at home in the evenings, but especially as a family unit. We have young kids, so we can't yet speak to like having teenagers, but having the rhythm for our children and having the rhythm for us is just so beautiful to be at home. And we've noticed for ourselves when we're out, even if it's good, I mean, they're always good things, right? We don't say yes to like things that are silly anymore for the most part, but like it brings exhaustion, it brings stress. I don't know, what else do you notice when we're out, too many nights?
Yeah, well, the number that is too many is going to be different for everybody.
Totally. Yeah.
For us, the number is I think lower.
Yeah.
But just because we're introverted doesn't mean that this principle doesn't apply to other folks. Like even if you're super extroverted.
Yeah.
Awesome. But 7 nights a week is still not good for you.
Yeah.
Because number one, you're probably missing out on all those dinners with family. And there's tremendous amount of research on the benefits of that.
Yeah.
So if you're out 7 nights a week, even if you're extroverted, so, the right number for you might be 5 nights a week. For us, it's like 1 night a month. Feels like. But I noticed one of the things that we said early on, and we still say that we wanted our marriage to be about, and it's in our guiding principles, is prioritizing togetherness.
Yeah.
And it usually ended up being one of us was out, not both of us together. But even if we were both out together, we weren't as together as we were when we were just home.
Right. Right.
That's and good. So it would be easy to misinterpret what we're saying as like, oh, it's just a bunch of introverts talking about staying home. It's more like hoping to encourage folks to rediscover the beauty of a home-centered life.
Yeah, totally.
And if you're out every night,
what are you missing out on?
I'm going to submit to you that you're probably missing out on some of the beauty of a home-centered life.
Yeah. And it's easy to like, it's almost like a hamster on a wheel. Like if you're used to that, like that fast pace, that go, it's going to feel weird to pull back. And
weird/painful.
Yeah. But again, just like I'm using this word invitation today because I feel like it's an invitation to see what's underneath, to see what beauty is there. And, again, we're in a season of little kids, but I feel like this applies to anyone and everyone, and asking yourself kind of what can I open my heart to if I step back into more home life. So, yeah. Okay. So going on to number 4. So we don't own a television. So we do have computers. So we'll say that we're not anti movies or anything like that. But again, I think it's similar to, I would say, I'm sure they've done research on this. I don't know the statistic, but having your phone on the table in front of you, even if it's face down, is the same as having a TV off in the living room. Is like, oh, there's a television. Oh, well, I'm tired. Let's turn it on. But you just take out that temptation, and like it takes effort to like open up a laptop and open up Netflix and open up the thing. But like when a TV, it's like you press the button and it's on. And, we've been, this one I could go on for a long time, but I'll reel it in. But we've been at like family, let's see, it was a 6-month-old's baptism, right? And it was a big gathering of family, and there was like 30 people there, and there was like a television just blaring in the background the whole time. Not
in the background, in the center of it all.
I guess in the center.
Because the TV is usually the focal point
of the living space of the
whole entire house. That's it feels
true.
Like you go in and it's just like, that's what is most obviously there. Yeah. And one of the other things I saw on the list for like a future episode is how to create an inviting home.
Yeah.
When the first thing you notice about a house is the giant garage, and the first thing you notice when you go inside is the giant TV, it pulls our attention away from the connection and family and towards material things and external stimuli.
Yeah.
We just never wanted the TV to be like the center
right.
of everything.
It's been, I mean, like we'll be at a decade of marriage in November and we've never owned a television. Yeah. We even we hosted some Christmas parties where we watched a Christmas movie together and we had to borrow someone's TV. We were like, do you want to come to our Christmas movie night? Also, can you bring your television over?
Eventually we got a projector.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And I bought a cheap one, so that was a mistake, but don't buy cheap projectors.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's number 4. Okay, number 5.
Don't talk negatively about each other. Yeah. Don't talk negatively about your spouse.
Yeah. Your child.
Or your child.
Yeah.
Especially not in front of them.
Yeah.
But this all the ones on this list, this might be the one. I know you keep using the word invitation. This might be the one where I'm like, stop it.
Yeah. This is not an invitation. This is a command.
This is a command. So much of what I hear and I see is either passive aggressive, or straight up aggressively negative.
Yeah. Towards the person you're supposed to love.
Towards the person who's supposed to be your priority. Mm-hmm. To have and to hold and all that. And so I get, on the one hand, I get that is almost always, probably always coming from hurt and brokenness and unkept promises or whatever. But talking negatively about your spouse is never the answer. It's never the course of action. No. And if there is hurt and brokenness, having conversations, or if it's past that point, going to therapy.
Yeah, going to therapy.
There's so many other constructive courses. Yeah. But what I see most often is just the slow little picking away, passively picking away at the partner.
Yeah.
Especially in conversation or even on social media. I was telling you a story the other day about something somebody posted, and it was just a slice at their spouse, but in like the most passive, haha, wink, wink. But it was like, no,
there's an undercurrent of
see how worthless my spouse is. And it just broke my heart to be posting something like that on social media.
And this is one that we are super passionate about and feel very strongly about. But I think the other side of it too is like, if you have children, your kids are listening and they are aware, your children are so aware. And like, how are you trying to teach your child to act towards your spouse? I will say, and I'm going to because I'm going to share this because I don't do this perfectly. I think we're really good about like when we're frustrated with something, we're really good about talking through it. But there was, I think a couple weeks ago, you were just like in a hard space, and I was with our daughter and I was making dinner and I was in a pretty good space, and I jokingly said, I wonder why Dad is grumpy. And we hadn't yet had time to like talk through the thing. And like the first thing our daughter said when you came back inside was, "Dad, grumpy." And I felt so crappy because I had said that, and then she picked up on it immediately. Yeah. I'm like, oh, she's 20 months old. Like she won't get it, but they do, And I apologized. I'm so sorry for that. But and in general, like, again, we're sharing not because we're perfect at this, but these are things we're working towards. And so, have a conversation with your spouse. And again, if it's past that point, find another way to cope through it. Like journaling has been huge for me. We see a counselor just like for upkeep in our marriage because, we don't have it all figured out. And, I just feel like there's so many better routes to take. So that kind of pivots into number 6, which is don't go to bed angry. What is the biblical thing? This, don't let the sun go down on your anger.
I think 99% of the time, I think this is good advice. I have heard some people say like, well, if it's like 3 a.m. and you're still going at it, maybe take a break.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I kind of almost, I do think don't go to bed angry is a great phrase. I almost more want to say like, don't let the hurts pile up, because really that like pushback, like what if it's 3 a.m. It's like, how are you still working through it at 3 a.m.
I like that.
Unless you've like let the hurts pile up.
Don't let the hurts pile up.
It kind of goes back to the last one too, because I have had conversations with people. I remember one time somebody was sharing that their spouse was in a hard place, and I was like, why don't you talk to them? This is before we were married. And their response was like, when you have a wife, you talk to her. I'm not talking to my wife. So number one, I was like, I will. Screw you. Number two is that to me was like, wow, there's a ton of like built up hurt in that moment. So
that's good.
When we say like, have a conversation, you might be like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
But that's usually a function of there's just too much.
There's too many
built
layers.
up.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've loved about our marriage, the don't go to bed angry, or just don't let the hurts build up and compound. I don't feel like there's never been a sense of like, are we going to deal with this or not? It's always like, I know we're going to, maybe we haven't had a chance yet. Like in the story you shared.
Sometimes it's a pause. Like we do need like a little space, where we need to,
especially earlier on, I feel like.
Yeah. We've gotten better about like, we figured out like when we do need to take space. But I just remembered, and this has stuck with me since premarital counseling. I remember there's this phrase that's stuck in my head this whole time, and it's intimacy through conflict.
Yeah.
So there's conflict here, there's intimacy here, and to work through to become intimate or close or whatever together. You can insert whatever word there.
Yeah.
You have to work through the conflict. You have to move through it. And I've loved that. And it's, I feel like people hear the word conflict and they just automatically think it's a bad thing. But like when you work through something, like when you're going at it and when you're able to like come out on the other side, like actually you draw closer to the person.
What I remember from that was a mentality of conflict is not good or bad. Conflict just is. And you can either let it drive you apart or let it draw you together. And those are the choices. Conflict is not a choice. Conflict just is. And it's not good or bad because it can lead to intimacy or it can drive you apart. But always choosing to have it lead towards intimacy and never wondering like, are we gonna work through what just happened? There's never been that question.
Right.
And I've always appreciated that. And I think because of that, it's actually easier, almost 10 years in, it's easier to deal with it. Because it's not like 10 years of
an
hurt.
Expectation. Like we're going to figure this out.
It's like just this one thing. It's not 10 years of things that now we're trying to like parse out together.
And I will say like, we're specifically talking about marriage relationships, but I think this applies to any relationships. It's actually, for me, it's almost been harder to do it with other people than it has with you, like certain people in my family. And so I know I still need to work on this. So, if you're not married, this could apply to your relationship with your mom or your relationship to your best friend. Like, I think it's all the same, you know, but again, I feel like it's, if you set that expectation of like, we're going to figure this out, there's always good that comes on the other side. So okay. Number 7.
Number 7 is don't go to bed late.
So this is, I will like asterisk this, like, again, we're not perfect. And in this newborn season, we're recording this episode at 8:30 p.m. But before our son was born, like,
because he didn't go down, then we had technical difficulties. We wanted to keep the promise we made to ourselves.
And we are having popcorn after this.
For sure. And I'm going to watch a show on my laptop.
Right.
Because we don't own a TV. We're not robots,
we're not robots, guys. But in general, we try, this is like, so the positive version is get good sleep. So the like don't go to bed late, because too many nights of going to bed late, again, just withdraw from your sleep tank. And again, this was not a thing early on in our marriage. Like so we'll do another episode on this someday, but like coming from like different places and expectations. I wanted to be with Michael all the time when we were newly married. And I was like, oh, like sleep means we're like not together. So I'd be like, we have to stay up late because I haven't seen you because you've been at work. So let's stay up late and do all these things together. And Michael's like, I'm so tired. So we've like found, I know like we found a more happy medium, I feel like. So in general, we try not to go to bed late, and late can be, again, different. I know we all have different circadian rhythms and body types and needs, but in general, we're shooting for like the 8 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
And so for us, that means if we want to get up earlier, like trying to go to bed by like 9:30, I'd say 9:30. We were trying for 9. That's never like, I don't think we're ever like achieving that. So in this season, again, it's a little different, but yeah. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think sleep is probably one of the most important things, and it is also one of the most underrated things. So that's number one. I don't think most people properly prioritize sleep. That sounds so boring. Sleep when you're dead, yada yada. It's difficult. I mean, that would be like a whole episode on its own, but sleep is more important than you think, and it's a lower priority for most people than you might even realize. Is number one. Number two is going to bed at a consistent time is just like over and over again. If this is the first time you're hearing of this, you need to get out more and do more research, because going to bed at a consistent time, even though we're not doing that perfectly, I'm still aware that that's the goal. Like in this newborn phase, we're not doing it perfectly, but I'm still aware that it's having an effect on me. But going to bed around the same time, and research also shows that it should be on the earlier side, that even people who are quote unquote night owls are happier when they go to bed slightly earlier and wake up slightly earlier. So yes, we have circadian biology, but also yes, you can shift it and you'll be happier if you do. So going to bed at a consistent time, and it's on the earlier side. I was talking with one of my clients, and he didn't complete his assignment for the week. I was like, oh, well, how was your week? He's like, I was up till 3 a.m. last night, binge watching Ted Lasso. I was like, okay. And you didn't do the things that I told you to do for your business and your life. So that's more what I'm thinking of when I say like, don't go to bed late. I'm thinking like, you normally go to bed at 10. That's great. But you were up till 3 a.m. binge watching Ted Lasso. I loved Ted Lasso. I thought it was great. Nothing against streaming, nothing against Ted Lasso. But 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
In your 40s?
Yeah.
Don't go to bed late.
Okay. You heard it. Okay, number 8.
Yeah, we don't overschedule. This to me means two things. One is we don't have a billion activities in our schedule. But two, we don't plan out every literal moment every day.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
It's both. To me, it's both. We do have a routine. We do have a schedule. But I think people drop into a false dichotomy with schedules and routines. When I say routine, number one pushback I get is like, that sounds boring. So every minute of your day is planned out beforehand and it's the same. Okay, first of all, that's impossible. So why would you even think that? That's not even realistic. But so it's not 100% or 0%. It's a middle ground, and it's structured flexibility. So we don't overschedule. We were just talking about like when a newborn wakes up from a nap, like, what's the priority sequence? Is it like the clock, like it's been this many minutes since their last feeding, or is it something else? And I think the answer is it depends. So there is this like flexible structure, but I think most people are in a false dichotomy framework. Their mindset is like, it's either 100%, everything goes perfectly, every minute, every second is planned, or screw it, no plan, no schedule. And so we aim for something in the middle.
Yeah. Something in the middle is good. I'll say two things about this particularly because I think it has shifted for us. I think we've become more home centered.
Yeah.
As we've gotten older and, I'd say we've shifted more towards that way even before our kids showed up. But I think one of the things that I don't know if anyone else would resonate with this, but like the overscheduling, one thing I noticed was a gift of COVID was the ability to pull back and to like clear your schedule, have a clean slate because all the things were taken away. And I think that was a big shift for us was like, well, we moved and COVID happens. We had like a total like clean slate. And then we're able to ask ourselves, what things do we want to go back in our schedule into our calendar? And there are very few things that like we kept from before. Like, like again, they were all, I think, really good things, but even the 2 or 3 things that we were doing, we've kind of pulled back from, and, we're rebuilding that even now. But, so I'll say that like, there can be times of your life, like, especially as, young parents, or just if you have any kids or you're in a busy season of life with work or starting a business, like it's okay to pull back, and I don't think you have to go all the time. I mean, that's the whole encouragement of this podcast is to pull back from the hurry. And then also I think being a mom, and I do tend to like, I've noticed, I'll say this lovingly, but there's a lot of push for moms to like do a bunch of stuff with their kids all the time. And I've noticed I've had days where I've slid into that, like, oh, what are we going to do today? And it's like every day you're doing something with your child, but you don't have to go somewhere. I've felt a ton of guilt. Like I'm not taking my kids to enough activities, but then I look back at like, I'm looking at our life and like, what are they learning every single day? Like, they're looking how to take care of chickens, and they're learning how to plant plants in the ground, and they're learning how to make healthy food. And that matters more to me. So again, it's not like an either or thing, but.
And to put a finer point on the having kids side of it, depending on what study you read, kids have somewhere between 10 and 100 times as many neurons as you do. So everything that you do is 10 to 100 times more stimulating than it is to you. This whole idea that kids need to be stimulated is total crap.
Yeah.
They don't need 1,000 activities. They don't need everything that has a button that you push that makes noise. To them, it's 100 times more stimulating than it is to you.
Yeah.
And so this whole like, oh, we got to do this play date and then this museum and then these lessons, and that's not real.
Yeah.
Like on a neurobiological level, it's not real. Forget from a historical level or anything else. So that overscheduling that creeps in is really, it can be detrimental, especially to kids who are a little more sensitive or a little more low key.
Yeah. Which I'm realizing is sort of like our number 9, but this is slightly different, which is we don't say yes to too many things.
Saying no is hard.
Yeah.
There's a tremendous amount of social pressure. A couple of years ago, I pre-drafted an email that I called my gracious no template.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I sent it out a lot before I got used to the idea of...
It was hard though.
Saying no and not giving a reason. I don't know who said it. Whoever said no is a complete sentence.
Yeah, that's good.
Saying yes to too many things is something we have slowly learned how to do. And it's been really hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's been really good.
Really good. Yeah. But it is hard. Like we're not denying that it's saying yes. Because I think there's the pressure. There's the like, I don't want to let the person down. There's the fear of missing out. There's a lot of reasons you might want to say yes. I know for me, it was a lot of you too. I think it was a lot of the like, I guess I'll speak for me, but it was like, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think I'm a terrible person? Like the guilt that comes with it.
Yeah. Owning a business is another dimension of this. It's really tempting to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
But if you say yes to everything, there's no way you can work 3 hours a day like I do and then be done. By definition, I'm saying no to a lot of things. And it's not possible. I think a lot of the hours people work are actually just a function of an inability to say no, whether it's a project you maybe shouldn't have taken or a social media platform you don't really want to be on, but you feel like you should because you have to. A lot of if you just read the experts, like, how do you grow a business? Well, you pick one social media platform and you say no to the rest, or at least for a little while while you grow it. The ability to say no, I think, is indistinguishable from being content and happy and successful. It's certainly indistinguishable from being home-centered. To be home-centered, you have to, you cannot say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You have to say no to a lot of stuff.
That's true. Yeah. And you will sometimes disappoint people, and that's okay. I think I'm also thinking about the other side of this too, is saying yes to too many things / saying yes too many times to your children. That's another thing we can talk about.
I like that.
I'm especially when you have like a 2-ish-year-old, you're really all day long, you're just kind of saying no, and that's okay. It's okay to say no sometimes to your child. So that's another side of the coin as well. But all right. And then number 10, this is number 10.
It's a curveball.
A curveball. That's what I was. Yeah.
We don't eat processed foods.
No. Again, we're not perfect, but in our home.
Yeah, I had one of those ice cream cones the other day.
Yeah, and you felt
it was
so gross. Yeah. Okay, so this is a zero shame statement. Like, we're not at all saying we're any better than anyone else, and we've worked towards this. Again, like, this is a conscious thing that we're working towards. But I think having sensitive bodies and trying to take care of our bodies, I think we do like feel it too when we choose to have something like a processed food or like a bag of chips or whatever.
Well, even the conversation we were having at dinner tonight about that time I ate 4 grilled cheese sandwiches and I felt sick.
Yeah.
But when I thought back, it's like, well, it was processed fake bread, terrible cheese, terrible butter.
Right.
It's like, could that have been the thing that made me sick?
Right.
Or if they had been real grilled cheese sandwiches made on your sourdough bread and homemade cheese, which we don't do yet, but that's on the list.
Working on it. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have been able to eat 4 of those because they would have been so filling.
Yeah.
And so nutrient dense.
So this is, again, something that we've worked hard to do, but my biggest encouragement to anyone out there who's like, what in the heck, how do I even start, is just to consider what you put in your grocery cart. And I think that's where that's one place to start is, it really is hard to eat processed food if you don't buy it. I mean, it's basically impossible. By definition, if you don't buy processed food, you're not going to make processed food at home. Like, you cannot. And so I think it really starts with like what you're putting in your shelves. What are you putting in your fridge? And this is a starting small thing. Like, if this seems impossible, but the reason we choose to do it is because we believe like we want to take the best care we can of our bodies, and also helping our children to thrive, and I think they go hand in hand. And so it's not easy. Sometimes it's like, it becomes easier, but it's sometimes hard. Sometimes I'm like, I want to just throw a box of mac and cheese on the stove. But we'll talk more about this in another episode, but what do you think?
For people who haven't thought about this maybe before, because my main hope in sharing that this is something that we don't do is to bring additional awareness. I don't think most people realize that 3/4 of what's in the grocery store you go to is processed food.
Yeah.
And if you look at the definition of food, it fails that definition.
Yeah.
I don't even like the phrase processed food anymore because it doesn't qualify as food.
Right.
It's edible substance, but it's non-nutritive.
That's
and 3/4 of what's in the grocery store on average, 73% to be specific, is considered processed food. Just that awareness that most of what people are putting in their grocery cart is not actually food, would not qualify as food historically. Yeah. And a lot of it's illegal in other countries because they already have figured out it's terrible for you. So again, it's not guilt or shame. The three kind of best definitions I've heard for like, what do you mean processed food? One is just look at the ingredients. If there's more than 5 ingredients, that's processed food.
Yeah.
Another version of that is if you can't pronounce the ingredients, that's processed food.
That's good.
I think a more recent take on this was look for added sugar when it's not dessert. Dessert is fine for dessert. But if you're getting a loaf of bread and it's got sugar in it, what is it doing in there?
Yeah.
If you're getting, we were just talking about ketchup. What is the corn syrup doing in ketchup?
Yeah.
Even the natural version. Why is there sugar in ketchup?
Yeah. Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So looking for those things, the added sugar, the names you can't pronounce, the list of just like 25 ingredients, those are things to watch out for. And in some ways it is hard because 3/4 of what's on the shelf is not actually food.
Yeah. One easy tip that I've heard and would recommend is they say shop the perimeter of the grocery store, because everything in the middle, so when you think about it, is on a shelf. Yeah. So it has preservatives. So
if it's shelf stable, it's processed. Not actually food.
Yeah. I mean, there's some noodles and stuff. Like you can get rice and noodles in the middle, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Can of beans. But like in general, like shopping the perimeter is a really helpful place to start, and just skip a lot of the aisles that they make in the grocery store.
Yeah. So we talked about how it's a little bit hard or a little bit complicated. I want to go to the other side though before we finish this episode. In some ways it is hard. And in a lot of ways, it's actually easier than anything else. If you go online, especially, or if you talk about food choices, what people eat, what do the experts say, 9 times out of 10 people will go down these crazy, insane routes of like intense vegan, intense vegetarian, and carnivore, keto, paleo. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
That's good.
It could just be real food.
Period.
Period. Right?
Yeah.
And so on the one hand, if you are vegan, that's fine. If you're keto, that's great. Whatever. But I've seen vegan candy bars that are terrible for you.
Totally. Yeah.
And keto product. Those things are not necessarily healthy.
Yeah.
The only thing that the research conclusively agrees upon, and there's no dissenting voices except the people who make the food that is poisoning us. But from a third party, like looking at the research standpoint, there's unanimous consensus that it's the processed food that's killing people.
Yeah.
And if we just ate real food, it would solve a lot of problems for a lot of people without having to worry about vegan, vegetarian, keto, paleo, all that stuff. Yeah. So in one way, it's actually much simpler.
Right. And the whole reason we put this on the list too is because we want you to thrive. And I think this is one huge way to do that, is to just look at the things that we're putting in our mouths every day and putting in our children's mouths. Like we want you to thrive. We want you to live a fully alive life, and so moving away from that is a really great place to start. So so that is it. Those are our top 10 things we don't do. There's a lot of other things, but it's a good start. So Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you agree or disagree, or there's any other things that maybe you choose not to do in your home-centered life, we'd love to hear about them too.
If you disagree, I don't care. Go live your life.
True.
What are some things you don't do?
Yeah.
Leave those in the comments.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. Well, as always, we're so glad you're here, and hopefully this was helpful and encouraging to you. Yeah, that's really the hope in this whole thing. It's just to be an encouragement to walk alongside you and to do that together. Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us for our conversation around the 10 things we don't do.
We hope you found it both helpful and encouraging. And if you like this episode, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a great zero-cost way to support this podcast.
You can also find us on Apple and Spotify and leave us up to a 5-star review. One of the beautiful things about the world we live in today is you can help us live a home-centered life at no cost to you just by liking and subscribing.
We look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you so much for joining us as we seek to live a home-centered life.